This is Atria.
I'm Maribel Silva, and I'm the chef de cuisine at Atria. I would describe Atria as somewhere that really tries to capture the locality, working with fresh produce and stuff, trying to do something different up here in Arizona. Everything from duck to pork to venison, fresh pastas made daily, really trying to keep that wide variety for anybody who's looking for something a little bit different. I always recommend to people, especially sitting at the chef's counter, try a little bit from every section. Our food is definitely meant to be shared. I think the thing that sets our cocktail program apart is that we're always changing it, trying to use seasonal ingredients, fresh produce, vegetables, berries if we can. I think when you come to Atria, you're gonna walk in and you're gonna see all the really soft colors. It's gonna feel very warm and welcoming. You're also gonna be able to probably tell most people will be like, this is a woman-driven restaurant. It's very feminine. The food is very soft, and just people come in and they're like, everything is so elegant, everything's so beautiful. Chef Rochelle, chef owner, also one of my best friends. I've known her for about 20 years. Been cooking together since we were 18. I feel like we complement each other nicely. She's constantly pushing me to do better, be better, stay focused. There really isn't anything better than working with somebody that you enjoy. 2 reasons that she named the restaurant Atria. One of the vessels that pumps blood through your heart is just the heart of the kitchen, and then short for atrium, which is just kind of like a warm, welcoming place where you can come. Lots of colors, lots of greenery. I definitely want people to come in and just be blown away by the fact that they're getting flavors and things that they haven't seen here in Arizona. We just hope that we meet those expectations because the food is different and you're gonna get just a different experience.
So Evan, I know Rochelle, Chef Rochelle, really well. How did you find Atria?
So I used to be in the beer business, and so there aren't too many restaurants in the state that I'm not pretty well acquainted with. And so I first got to try her cuisine when she was at Fat Ox in Scottsdale. And so when I heard that she was opening up a concept in Flagstaff, I got very excited and have been going since they opened.
Yeah, amazing, isn't she? So do you go there often?
As often as I can afford. It is a little bit on the pricey side, but most special occasions my family likes to go.
Good. So what is your go-to?
There was a while where we didn't have a lot of oyster options in Flagstaff. Imagine that, but this is one of a couple that we have currently, and they always have 2 or 3 preparations, and so we always start with oysters.
So I know I love oysters, by the way, and she does them. I had them hot and cold, I think, when I was there.
Had them both ways, beautiful preparation, just very bright, paired nicely with the brininess of the oyster, and I think I preferred that to the warm, but the warm was excellent too, with a little bit of, I think it was chorizo in there.
I think you had the beef tartare, right?
We did. My wife's she'd never had beef tartare before. I'd had it several times. I thought it was great. The ziti sauce was really good with it. I was like, this is good. I liked it. She, not so much a fan, but me, I enjoyed it.
You like raw meat. You're like a fireman. You're a cowboy. John, what did you have for appetizers?
Yeah, we went for Wine Wednesday. We chose the Beaujolais, but they had a smaller charcuterie board with thinly sliced salami, type of brie, spiced nuts, some marinated olives. So paired with the wine, that was fantastic.
So what did you have for entrees?
So we went for my mother-in-law's birthday, and so we were actually able to try a lot of different dishes. And we had the special, which is always going to be a cut of steak. My highlight was the Iberico Pluma. It was just very well prepared. It had some stone fruit that we couldn't quite put our finger on. We were thinking it might be a golden plum, but with some maple and some mustard seed, and it was just...
I remember it.
A very, very, very interesting preparation that just paired well with perfect pork.
So it's pork, yeah. So Iberico pork, which is super special from Spain on the border of Portugal. Yeah. Great cut of meat. So Mark, what did you have for an entree?
I had the branzino, the artichoke and everything, and it was wonderful. My wife and I are also fans of artichoke, so any kind of preparation with that is really good. There's a lot of flavors in there. There's a lot of flavors that were going on in it, and the crispiness of the edges was really kind of nice, and the fish itself was very well presented, even with that kind of crispy skin on the edge. And then the staff paired a really great wine for me with it, and so I was appreciative of that.
What did you have for entrees?
We had the slow smoked organic chicken, the half portion, and it was poultry perfection. It was so well cooked. The accoutrements really stood out for that dish. The pancetta, the mustard,
It was sort of like a sweet sour thing, right? And really interesting.
Yeah, you wanted it on every bite of that chicken, and just the the smoked flavors and the seasonings came out. It was tender. It was really good.
And you said half portion, and you're right. It was a half a chicken. I
Yeah.
mean, we brought that baby home. It's like it was a serious portion, and that was lunch the next day. So you had talked about it was a celebration for you. Did you have dessert for your celebration?
Oh, we sure did. And the preparation and the presentation is really what makes it stand out. We had both a pavlova, which was it was like a sphere of meringue with the pavlova inside, and I don't know how they do that, but it was just a really fun presentation. And the key lime pie was actually a lime-shaped, custard-filled sort of pastry, and it was on like a bed of greenery, and I don't know, it was really fun presentation.
Yeah. You're shaking your heads. Okay, who's going next? John, Mark?
Oh,
Okay.
well, I had the rum cake, and I'm a sucker for desserts anyway, and make them, and it was delicious, absolutely delicious. The texture on it was kind of a mix between that from the edge, soft and good spongy, all the way in to the deep, molassesy kind of component to it. It was really good.
Awesome. Jim.
I didn't have dessert. I'm learning. I shouldn't have missed out.
Yeah, see, your list going. There was sorrow in your eyes. That's what I was looking at. We're talking about this. They do have a great wine program. Who wants to go first?
To tie into the dessert thing, I asked for a pairing, a gastrique for that to go along with that, and I was surprised that they didn't already have one. Like, this is what's going to present well with that, and that's kind of my only negative note for them. Is like you'd think that would be there, and it wasn't.
We had the Beaujolais. It was a recommendation. It was refreshing. There's some citrus notes, and the Beaujolais was really tasty.
So, Evan, did you have any drinks?
One of my favorites in a long time. It was called the Last American Summer. And so it tasted like a root beer float. It was served up, and it had a whole egg in it. I'm always a sucker for an egg white in a drink to really kind of build the body and bring kind of a creamy sort of texture to it. But they used a whole egg, and it was rum and whiskey, and I mean, it just tasted like a root beer float. It was really good.
All right, let's talk about decor. I mean, we haven't touched on this yet.
The whole experience stood out for us. The atmosphere, it can be intimidating in fine dining, but it was still comfortable and, again, not intimidating and really well decorated.
My wife called it modern kitchen.
Modern kitchen. I love that term.
Yeah, they have 4 distinct places. The chef's table, the front of the house is very bright and open, and then they have more of a traditional dining area, and then the bar has a very kind of old school, homey, dark wood sort of feel.
Yeah.
I think it was one of those restaurants for me when I walk in, there's a beautiful simplicity to it, but as you're sitting there, you see the complexity, both in the tones and the textures. Very well done, very tastefully done. So now we do takeaways or pro tips. It's your restaurant, Evan.
I think these fellows kind of took my pro tip is Wine Wednesdays. A bottle of wine and charcuterie board is a good way to start off. Reservations recommended for sure.
Mark, pro tip.
Don't go there thinking you're not going to walk away under a certain dollar amount.
Okay.
Because
a
the
good
food
tip.
is so good that you're going to want to enjoy it.
Fine dining.
Absolutely. And, we've been to many throughout the country, and this stacks up with them.
I agree. John.
Ask questions. The staff were so responsive. There were items that we weren't familiar, and they explained it really well. They provided their recommendations, some pairing recommendations, and we learned a lot. We enjoyed the food, and we learned a lot.
Oh, good. If you want to try Atria, you'll find it at 103 North LaRue Street. An average meal costs $70, and reservations are highly recommended.